and find some weird enjoyment that you're at least on your couch and not having to engage yourself with other people. I mean, wow, you don't have to. It's kind of cool that you don't. Because when I have to engage myself with other people, I feel like I always have to control myself the entire time there. Like, be presentable, have a smile on my face. Stop holding the whole conversation to myself to talk about my favorite subject, me. To tell everybody a story that they already know, as I feel the yearning to again tell it again. Who wants to hear the same story like over and over and over again? My father, quite often when I engage a conversation with him, and he's like a lot older, and it's totally excusable that he would do this. The same story, like in the first 3 minutes, in the first 5 minutes, for the next 10 minutes, for the next 30 minutes, for the next 30 calls. Same story over and over again. When he calls it, I don't find it very. I'm not interested to answer, and he'll just keep talking and talking and talking, which I suspect I do. Like, I have, even on occasion, not to be rude or spell that I'm a very rude person, but in one breath answer the phone because my old man wants to talk, yet not want to hear it because his tone is so depressing. Depressed people just don't want to be around depressed people because, well, it's just bad after bad. And if you hang too long with these situations, if I was a drinker and I like drinking, or if I was a drug user, man, just like, where's my next drink or my next toke, man? Because time to zone out. But in my case, when I hear depressed people, and I feel somewhat compelled to listen to them because I have a sense that I know what they're going through and I feel sorry about it, and I don't want to be a dickhead by not listening to it. I have on occasion put the phone down, knowing that he's going to talk for half an hour. I put it down and gone and done stuff and picked it up once in a while just to see if he was still talking. And yes, he's still talking. I give a quick, oh yeah, or uh-huh, just so that he thinks that there is someone there. Put the phone back down and continue doing what I want to do and revisit it again. And then after, sometimes it being about a half an hour or so, like, try to close down that conversation. It's like, hey Dad, really nice talking to you, and call me back sometime. Awesome, love you, great to hear from you. Cool. And hang up the phone, and of course he's hanging up the phone with the idea that his son listened to him for like an entire half an hour, so Mac must love me. And I, in turn, even though it wasn't sincere and from my heart, didn't make it so that he felt bad about it. So even though I somewhat feel bad about it, but I just can't be dealing with more problems on top of mine. It's just not a good chemistry. Oh, back to the game again. See, here I am, being distracted. Where was I? The gift thing. No, I was getting dressed. All right, so I was going out my door. It was now like 11:30 or quarter to 12. And I actually borrowed my son's car and started down the road. To only realize that halfway down the road, as I had to like re-look at the phone that I have, my cell phone, that in fact it was Saturday. So I kind of used that as an excuse, as I was all dolled up and ready to go, to head on down to the local store, Equipment Center, big mall, to like go shop a gift, so that when tomorrow does come, and I do go to his party, I'll be able to give him a gift, and it'll be somewhat a little more thankful on my part to wish him a happy birthday and enjoy his home team, the Packers, Green Bay Packers, win a victory, or take a picture of him, my friend Jason, when they finally lose, to rub it into him, because I like that, always pitch in for the losing team or the underdog. I'm not sure who's the underdog. I don't even watch much sports. I mean, most of the sports I watch are key games. So this is a key game. I mean, the Super Bowl, #1 game of the planet, I'd imagine, or at least in North America, where I'm into it. Stanley Cup, some playoff games, whatever. Not too much into the soccer. Definitely not golf. And I used to be very in tune to watching fishing shows, the big fish kind of deal, salmon and so on. Still get a bit of a kick out of that, but I'm not too interested in that anymore either. Anyway, it'll go back to the story again. So I ended up going to a golf shop because he golfs. He's got a pool table too, and that shopping mall doesn't have any pool sticks or anything that, again, I mean, my friend has basically everything he could ever want. He's kind of well off or whatever, and so anything he does want, he goes and gets. So there was a golf shop next to the Future Shop, and I went in there and wandered around, and I guess you can never have too many golf balls. So I went up to a clerk, said, "Hey, how's it going? What do I get?" Pointed me at some of these golf balls. He says they're like #1, and everybody in the pro circuit or whatever uses them. So I spent my $40 for a gift on the golf balls, and was going to leave the store when I realized, as I was all dressed up, I'm dressed up as I am now. Nice green golf shirt. And my clothes, that I went down to the local coffee shop down there, ordered a large coffee, sat down, and tried to relax and enjoy the moment, so to speak. And what often happens to me when I sort of settle down and relax, and I'm not so messed up with my past or any weird emotional reckless crap that I don't want to deal with, usually, I can actually have cool moments of creative energy. My new thing, of course, is writing some poems. I mean, who would think I'd write poems? I mean, really, never wrote a poem. I think I wrote one once, actually, when I was 8 years old or something, and I think I actually plagiarized it because I had no skill at it, or thought that I would even do it. I spent what should have taken me maybe 10 minutes, as I expect a teacher would, not worry about what you wrote down, just write a few lines. I spent the better part of a day going to a library, looking through a whole poetry section, finding an old, torn, tattered book. Was printed was probably 40 years ago, because I thought that, my English teacher probably hadn't read it. Picked out a poem that seemed simple, something about a firefly and whatever, and as it had 8 lines to it, sounded pretty cool. I plagiarized it. Oh my god. Anyways, I plagiarized it, wrote it down, submitted it as a real cool one. I got this little pat on the back saying good job, and cool. So that whole episode, which I'm sure took me 10 hours to do, what could have been a minute for someone else, and the whole thought behind it of I was going to get caught, accused of plagiarism. She was going to like it so much that she was going to send it to some newspaper or some magazine on my behalf, thinking that she would get it published, and then of course I'd be caught.